Now, the Washington Examiner has revealed that Kamala Harris's VP pick, Tim Walz, called a Muslim cleric who promoted a pro-Hitler film a master teacher and admitted they spent time together in the past. In addition to spreading anti-Semitic neo-Nazi materials online, Imam Zaman also shared a Hamas press release back in 2016 and has shared many anti-Israel posts since the October 7 attacks. In a statement to CNN, a Harris campaign spokesperson insisted that Walz and Zaman do not have a personal relationship, but here is Walz in 2018 clearly saying they do and calling the Imam a master teacher.
I would like to, first of all, say thank you to Imam. I am a teacher, so when I see a master teacher, I know it. And over the time we've spent together, one of the things I've had the privilege of is seeing the things in life through the eye of a master teacher to try and get the understanding, listening today to the stories and what it means.
Joining me now is journalist and documentary filmmaker Ami Horowitz. Ami, how well did the Kamala Harris camp vet Tim Walz?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We got to go back to that ray gun thing for a second. I'm sorry. I was laughing that entire segment. First of all, Rachel Dratch, absolutely hilarious. She's a Manhattan Upper West Sider to represent, bring in the comedy. But look, I'm of two minds. This is more important than Tim Walz. I'm of two minds when it comes to breakdancing. Big breakdancing fan. I was taught by the comedian Sinbad. I'm embarrassed to say I went to a breakdancing class when I was a kid, so I have a lot of respect for it. Yeah, I know. It's horrible. It's embarrassing. Truth is the truth. Should it be Olympic sport? If I'm really good at it, my guess is no, it should not be Olympic sport. Sorry, guys. Just what the way I feel. Okay, back to Tim Walz and neo-Nazis and anti-Semitic, anti-Israel activists. No, look, did she vet him and then this was surprising? Yes. Was it surprising? No. Look, this just represents what Kamala Harris truly feels, right? I think this is going to come out more and more as she becomes her own person. We're going to realize that she actually finally speaks to the media, if that's even possible. We'll realize what kind of anti-Israel radical she really is. So this really comports with that. Did he not have a personal relationship? I'm sorry. He hosted this guy 5 times. Of course he did. He called him a master teacher. He spent a lot of time with this guy. He knows exactly what this guy represents. It's sick and it's disgusting, but this is just a preview of what we can expect for the Kamala campaign when it comes to Jews and it comes to Israel. Look, there's a woman named Nasrina Barghazi who she just hired as her deputy counsel. Nasrina has a long history of anti-Israel, anti-American comments. She was interviewed by the FBI because of her comments about 9/11. She wore an orange jumpsuit in solidarity with al-Qaeda terrorists sitting in our jails. She has a long history of anti-Israel, anti-American positions, yet she is now in the Kamala administration. Kamala's hired what they call a Jewish liaison, Elon Goldberg. This is a guy who's a J Street anti-Israel radical, right? This is a guy who came out in full-throated support of the anti-Israel UN resolution that Obama, while he just abstained, he was actually the guy who wrote it. So yeah, this is all a preview of what we're going to see with President Kamala Harris if it actually happens. So no, I'm not surprised at all.
Oh, goodness me. Can you just imagine what the Middle East is going to look like after 4 years of Kamala, perhaps 8? Now, yesterday on Elon Musk's live stream with Donald Trump, Trump spoke about the manner in which the Biden administration has mishandled Iran and destabilized the Middle East.
Iran was broke because I told China, if you buy from Iran oil, it's all about the oil. That's where the money is. But if you buy oil from Iran, you're not going to do any business with the United States. And I meant it. And they said, we'll pass.
Yeah.
They didn't buy oil. Other countries, likewise.
Sure.
You want to buy, you're not doing business with the United States.
Ami, the Biden administration's eagerness to revive the Iran deal has emboldened and enriched the Iranian regime.
Yeah, look, is it surprising that I mean, what do you think Iran's position was vis-a-vis this election when they tried to hack, or they did hack, Trump's paperwork? They tried to assassinate Trump. They didn't go after Biden or Kamala. They want them to be president, right? That says everything about the positions that these two take vis-a-vis Iran, right? Why do they hate Trump? I don't know. Let's see. Trump assassinated Soleimani, one of their military leaders, right? One of their terrorists supporting military people who went directly after U.S. interests and Israeli interests. He killed the Iran deal, which was gave them the ability to help build nuclear weapons. He increased sanctions, didn't give them loads of cash like the Obama Biden administration. Increased economic pressure on the country. Like, this is why we can see what's going on when it comes to Biden and Iran, Trump and Iran, and I think what will be Kamala and Iran. And also, let's not forget, just, by the way, that after Iran sent over 300 missiles and drones in one of the great attacks on Israeli sovereignty and territory of all time, what did President Biden do? He said to Israel, you better not react to this, otherwise you will lose my support. Yeah. Could you imagine a President Trump say that to Israel? I don't think I can, and he wouldn't. Yeah, that's why Iran wants Trump to lose and Biden and Kamala to be president. That says a lot about the election and foreign policy to me.
Absolutely. And Secretary of State Anthony Blinken is apparently delayed his trip to the Middle East due to uncertainty in the region. But the expectation is that once he does arrive, he's going to be putting more pressure on Israel to make concessions to Hamas, to do a deal. Blinken will be in Egypt, Israel, Jordan and Qatar to discuss with partners the need to reach a ceasefire agreement that secures the release of all hostages. That's a statement from the State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller. Ami, how should Israel respond to this renewed pressure to make concessions and do a deal?
Yeah, I mean, if Israel didn't respond to pressure in the past, a deal would have been done, and Hamas would still be in power, sending rockets and missiles into Israel on a daily basis and probably grabbing more hostages, because all you're doing is incentivizing bad behavior, right? I mean, look, macro and micro behavior are very similar. When you teach a kid that it can get away with an inch, that kid's gonna take a mile. The same thing goes with terrorist organizations. And unfortunately, that's the situation that they're trying to put Israel in. And frankly, look, I think, again, to go back to Kamala and how she would respond to this kind of behavior and how she would respond to Israel, look, she was giving a speech recently, and the chants of Genocide Joe were raising up from the audience, and her response was not, hey guys, this is ridiculous, this is immoral, shut the hell up. She said, look, if you want Trump elected, then that's what you got to do, continue these chants. That's the way she handled it. That's the way she's going to handle Israel and Hamas going forward. Be prepared.
Appeasement, yes. And to Hunter Biden, we've got newly released records and interviews revealing that Hunter Biden sought assistance from the US government for the Ukrainian gas company Burisma, who were eyeing up a potentially lucrative energy project in Italy. This is while Joe Biden was vice president. A White House spokesperson has said Joe Biden was not aware when he was VP that his son was reaching out to the US Embassy in Italy. Really? How believable is that, firstly, Ami? And how rich for the New York Times to be running this story prominently when they were among the media who suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story when it really mattered in the lead up to the 2020 election?
Yeah, I'm going to miss all the Hunter Biden stories and talking about it when that's gone. I got to be honest. I mean, it was a big part of what we were doing. Look, there's, of course, this massive hypocrisy when the New York Times and the rest of the mainstream media suppressed all of these problems and issues when Joe Biden was president. And the more they brought it up, the more they realized it would suppress his electoral possibilities. So they kept quiet about it. But now that Joe Biden is no longer running for president, hey, we might as well tell the truth and talk about the reality of what's going on. So now you're seeing these stories come out because Kamala is running and not Joe Biden. It's gross. It's transparent. It's obvious. I can't believe, look, if I were them, I would just ride on that wagon of saying, hey, let's just suppress it, leave it alone. Why bring up now? It just highlights your hypocrisy and your failure to live up to your responsibilities before. But hey, you know what? I guess better late than never, right?
Yeah, better late than never. Ami Horowitz, thank you for your time this evening.
Always a pleasure.